So, all right, awesome, Jason. Thanks for taking some time to chat with me a little bit. Let's dig in here a little bit and let's talk about kind of how you're feeling before the challenge started.
Not horrible. I mean, I was doing my workouts every day and I was still maintaining a fairly decent diet, but it was just a matter of there was some fatigue in there. There was the typical low energy type thing. You know, you get through halfway through the day, like 2 o'clock, and just some general fatigue would kick in.
Yep.
But other than that, I thought I felt pretty well.
Yeah. So what ultimately kind of pushed you over the edge to do the challenge?
Um, well, Tammy and I basically went at it as we're going to be partners and we're going to hold each other accountable. So that's where we went with it. You know,
Right.
it's easy to have somebody accountable if you're in the same house. You can't really get away from it.
Right. That spousal accountability is a key, right?
Absolutely.
And so tell me a little bit about the challenge. What did you change? What did you maybe do differently throughout the 6 weeks?
I think we put a strong focus on our meal planning and our diet, and this was probably one of our best challenges that we've done together. I mean, we
Hmm.
stayed on track, on course, and didn't have a cheat meal, didn't do anything out of the ordinary. You know, we stayed on right on track with that planning the whole time. And then the combination of that and had the MEP challenge.
Yep.
So that Tammy is a runner, so she was running quite a bit, and there's no way I could possibly keep up with her, but it pushed me to get on the treadmill and expand a little bit on that, and actually put in a couple 3 miles a night or 4 miles, depending on how it was.
So you were getting some more like low level activity on a pretty regular basis in addition to the workouts.
Correct. For me, it was a couple times a week. I would
Okay.
I would maybe do it 2 to 3, where she
Nice.
was doing it every day.
Right. That's awesome. So what kind of changes did you notice throughout?
I think one of the biggest things I noticed was just the just have more energy throughout the day as you get going. I didn't have to rely on that 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock and 2:30 cup of coffee to
Hmm.
actually make it through the day. That was probably one of the bigger things. I did notice some um, as far as strength wise throughout during the different cycles. You know, I could notice just the amount of strength changing and um, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think.
Just felt like you were getting maybe in better shape, like just better condition, able to
More conditioned,
accomplish
yeah,
more.
right.
And then, how about any like physical measurements? Did you feel like your clothes were fitting different, or did you see any change in sleep or anything like that?
I Well, I got to the point where it's like I need a half a belt loop instead of a full belt. I'm in between.
Right.
If I went one more hole, it would be too tight, and if I go where I'm at, it's almost too loose. So I need like a halfway point. That's probably where I notice it the most. Because
Okay.
when I gain weight, my weight's all gained around my midsection. I
Yep.
get that Sid the Sloth look on, and that's where I put it all on. So that's where I notice it the most.
How about, did you notice anything with sleep? Sometimes people, when they make big changes, they notice that their sleep was different. Were you dealing with any issues before with that, or was it pretty consistent?
We work in EMS, so our sleep is affected randomly on any given day and any
Yep.
given time. So that's a hard one to judge. I did notice that we were probably more consistent when we went to bed,
Yep.
and you know, I wasn't as tired when I woke up in the morning at the same time. We still get up at the same time, but I wasn't as tired,
Right.
so I was able to get up and start functioning right away.
Well, I think that's a testament right there to you guys were able to do this despite, being part of the EMS and, not always knowing if you're going to be up in the middle of the night. But you guys were super faithful with workouts and you definitely put in the work and saw the results because of that. Do you remember what your results were from the challenge?
Um,
Do you know how many pounds of
quite
weight loss
better.
was?
not quite my goal. I was hoping to get under 190, but I think I was like at 14.8 or something like that pounds for the weight loss.
Yeah,
Um,
I know your numbers were really good.
the big ones were probably my fat percentage and because that was down like 10, 7.5, something like that percent.
Yeah,
And
we'll get the exact numbers and put them on here, but I'm pretty sure it was like in that 7.5, which is crazy. That means that like you were super dialed in, and it's a short week. I mean, it was a short time frame. It was only like 6 weeks, so
right,
that's even more of a testament to the work that you guys put in.
right. It
Um,
wasn't easy, but we did it.
Right. No, it's, I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's kind of like a challenge, right? So, all right. So you did this challenge, you got it all dialed in. You saw some really good results. How do you see yourself kind of coming out of this? And what do you see yourself doing on the flip side of this?
Just try and maintain. I mean, some of it's going to be tough to stay on track. Exactly. I mean, it's a matter of just keeping focused on what we're doing. I mean, prior to the challenge, our diet was fairly consistent and we were pretty diligent about what we ate and
Mm-hmm.
didn't typically go out and have a cheat meal anyway. So that part will be easy to maintain. The big thing I think is to keep pushing myself as far as the extra workouts if I can get them in, and look for places to improve and
Right.
get better on just where I'm at right now.
So one of the things that you maybe did differently during the challenge was just maybe increasing the amount of activity that you got on a regular basis.
And increase that and cut out the snacks. It would
Okay.
be, instead of a half a pound of Dots pretzels, it was a half a pound of carrots. Not the
Right.
same thing, but definitely going to lean towards the pretzels every time.
Right. So just making some like minor changes in your diet, maybe stopping with the snacking or swapping out the snacks with something maybe a little bit more conducive to what you're trying to do seemed to be the difference in helping you to kind of make progress in the way that you wanted to go.
Definitely.
Awesome, man. So, I mean, what advice would you give to someone that's like maybe on the fence or like, I don't know if I want to get started with doing something? What advice would you give to someone that maybe thinking about making a change but hasn't taken the leap yet?
It's a matter of you have to want to do it and dedicate it to it. It's you have to wake up that morning and say, all right, I'm going to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next morning when you're tired, you have to just keep, no matter what, you just have to get out of bed and get it done. It's a it's a lifestyle change, and it's not easy at first, but once you
Yep.
get into that habit, it's a lot easier to maintain it. And it's almost like a drug because you feel so much better and you don't want to go back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're a testament to consistency, because I mean, every morning you're showing up, getting your work in, even if you may have been out in the middle of the night, you're still kind of showing up and getting the workout in. So, yeah, you're a testament to being consistent and what you get when you're consistent. And so, hats off to you for that, man. So, anything else that you want to share? Go ahead.
I fully admit that the COVID time killed me. I'm not one to work out at home. The timing wasn't always exactly right,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't take the time after work to dedicate it and do it, and I
Yep.
just got into a little slump. But once we got back into the gym, it was a lot easier for me to keep that schedule and
Right.
push forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just finding what's right for you, right? Like for you, you're a person that kind
Right.
of needs that in-person piece where Tammy, it does just fine being able to show up online and do it in the living room. And so I think really what I want people to hear is like finding out what works for you. And that might be in person, that might be virtual, that might be a combination. But finding what works for you and then actually working the process, right? Like actually showing up and
Absolutely.
putting in the work on a regular basis. So, um, yeah, man, hats off to you. You killed it. You did awesome. Anything else that you have?
I've got nothing. I appreciate everything. It's not just myself, it's all the coaches and everybody else there that you see them and you push yourself to try and get better than somebody else or better than what you were this morning.
That's right. All right, Jason, I appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Trevor.